You've probably heard of other characters having very powerful safe jump setups. Zangief isn't known for these, like some other characters are, but he does have what is essentially a budget version of them. These are a bit janky, so this video will explain how to get these and how they work. I'll also explain the counterplay against it, so even if you're not a Zangief main, stick around. Zangief's pseudo-safe jump is performed by ending a grounded combo with an OD lariat and immediately jumping forward after. These pseudo-safe jumps are very character dependent. In short, characters with a 6-frame DP, like Ken or Guile, usually require a spacing setup for them to work, while characters with a slower anti-air do not. A properly spaced pseudo-safe jump is set up by doing a forward heavy punch, into a hell stab, into an OD lariat. This setup requires your opponent to back rise, but this is usually not a problem. In the corner, light DP will whiff anyway, so there it's not an issue. If you spaced it right, both invincible reversals and anti-airs will be blocked if you empty jump, but they will still hit you out of an air normal. If you did not space it correctly, or your opponent did not back rise, they can always anti-air you with their light DP, whether you press the button or not. This is a hard read though, as you can't do this on reaction, and not back rising against Zangief is extremely risky. Against most characters without such a DP, the spacing does not matter, and this mix-up applies anywhere on screen. So to summarize, the mix-up goes like this. You can either jump in with the jumping heavy punch, and basically stud your pressure from a jump normal, which is very strong for Zangief. Alternatively, you can empty jump, bait out an anti-air or a reversal, and if they keep blocking, quickly scoop them up with an SPD. Now you might have noticed me saying words like most and usually quite a lot. This pseudo-safe jump has a lot of weird character-specific interactions, and it works way better in some matchups than others. I labbed out all interactions with the safe jump, and made this terrifying spreadsheet. You don't have to memorize everything, but it's good to know the general categories these characters fall in. If this all sounds too complicated to you, you can just do the setup with proper spacing every time, and you should be good most of the time. Be aware that there are 3 characters that can always anti-air you, even if you do the spacing setup. Yuri and Jamie can do this without cost, but Luke does need his level 2. The most important category is all the characters with a 6-frame DP, where the full setup and mix-up applies. These include all the Shotos, Cammy, Guile, and Chun-Li, but do not include DJ, Rashid and Blanca. Then you have some characters that will never be able to hit you out of your jump, even if you have pressed the button in the air. A bunch still have a super that can hit you if you press a button, but this does make them significantly weaker to the pseudo-safe jump. The characters that do not have anything at all to counter the jump are Ed, Bison, Dalsim and Aki. Finally, you have characters that can't hit you out of an empty jump, but can still hit you out of pressing a button without a super. Some do this with a meterless reversal, while others have some sort of slower anti-air. Some have to spend meter, some don't, and the level of risk associated with these moves varies a lot. Some are fully invincible, while others are basically a hard read. This might all look very complicated, but remember that many players don't have this specific matchup knowledge. Especially under Master, it's always worth it to see if you can get away with something. It's still good to learn the risk-reward situations, and I still wouldn't try any of this against Jamie or Yuri, but you should never respect your opponent too much. And if you forget some counterplay, you'll eventually be reminded of it the hard way. As always, if you have any questions, or want me to talk about a certain topic, be sure to let me know, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.